I want to clarify a few numbers that you gave us. The goal is to get to 7 million enrollees. It was to get 500,000, I believe, in the latter half of this year. And wherever they are, we know they're well short of that number. At most, something like 100,000.
HHS actually, as of today, has claimed that they don't have targets anymore because they were so far
No
away.
targets.
That's literally today they've decided.
You know, President Obama made comparisons to Apple. Sometimes has glitches as well. I know you on the set referred to him as the Steve Jobs of socialized healthcare. Let me tell you the difference between Apple and Obamacare. They knew, as you pointed out, this was not going to work. Apple has never shipped a product where they sat there in the warehouses before they hit the loading docks and go, I don't think it's going to work. Ship it. Go. Ship,
the guy in charge of iPhone Maps that was terrible, he got fired. Which is the difference.
Absolutely. And there was an article that came out this afternoon in USA Today that said, it was the head of a CEO of a tech firm who said that this was built on 1990s technology and a 2.0 world. And he said it was going to have to be totally revamped and redone, that it's not even workable in the way it is.
See, this is they
fix
told us they were going to just fix this. So
Nope.
what does this mean? Because there are deadlines. Because remember, Obama wouldn't move this back. He wouldn't push back the delay. In fact, he was going to crash the government if they didn't go forward with the law as written, or at least as he says it is. Joining us now is Con Carroll. He's managing editor for Town Hall magazine. Con, thank you for joining us.
It's great to be here, Buck.
Let's start with this premise, because I think it's becoming increasingly a reality, Con. What happens when the government mandates that you buy a product, and yet that same government has made it impossible for you to purchase said product? Can they still impose a penalty on you, or a tax, or whatever we want to call it? It seems like something that they may be faced with relatively soon.
They can. It looks like a whole lot of people, millions of Americans, are going to be hit with a $95 tax that first year starting in 2014. They have until mid-February to enroll, and if the sites aren't running, if they're not running until then, and they can't prove that they've enrolled by that date, then they're going to be hit with a $95 fee.
Hey, Con, it's Pete Hegseth. Do we have any way of knowing age demographics on this? Because I know if I'm a young person and I'm watching these news headlines, I want to rush to a website that doesn't work, where I've got to enter a whole bunch of personal data. It's going to take me a long time, and it might crash at the end of it. And as Buck said, this whole thing is premised on young people subsidizing others who are dependent on this particular system. Do we have a sense at all of whether young people at all have responded to this?
No, we don't. I mean, you just ran off some numbers, but I've seen conflicting reports from all kinds of different agencies and health insurance companies themselves about how many people are enrolling. And this is a data problem. So we don't know. We don't have any good hard data to look at to see who is enrolling and who's not.
Yeah, I mean, I think conservatives need to be careful in one regard about focusing in on the technical side too much, because the technical side can be fixed, and of course conservatives have a much bigger problem. But it does strike me that technical dangers and technical mistakes are especially dangerous for this administration, because they like to sell the idea that technocracy works and that government can run these programs. And they're going to have a real tough time, I think, henceforth, saying to people, look, invest in us and we'll work, because people have seen this be a disaster.
Well, let's just talk about that. Politics, right? Politics, Obama had this great technological campaign. Everyone raved about it. But buried in a political article today was a part of an article that said that they were so scared to go outside of the administration and outside of who they had contracted with that they actually talked to campaign officials, because they didn't want Republicans being able to subpoena these outside individuals to work on the actual program and the website. So they knew that this was going to be a problem, and they put politics before they put the American people.